When you pick up your phone or pretty much any other gadget, you almost always see made in China, Taiwan, or Korea. But if you look inside that very same technology, you'll find that so much of what's inside those gadgets was coded by Israelis. I went to Israel and I saw the tech sector has become the backbone of the Israeli economy. Throughout the global recession, Israel saw growth year on year. Just take a look at the NASDAQ. If you see the foreign listings, number 1 is China, number 2 is Israel. Obviously, Israel is doing something right. What I found is one of the things is that they have a chief scientist. So I talked to him about what the government is doing to try and help the tech sector along.
If you are an entrepreneur with an idea, you will have everything you need in order to succeed. The venture capital available, the government funding, the favorable tax policies, everything that you need in order to start your company and later on to scale your company.
What really struck me was that failure equals success in Israel. So what the chief scientist is doing is using government money, tax dollars, to invest in these tech companies, but only when they're small. The risk is low, and if the company fails, it's really not a problem for them, because if an entrepreneur goes on to create a second or third company, or however many companies it takes until they're successful, eventually they'll be putting money back into the Israeli economy. I talked to a lot of the CEOs of tech companies in Israel. They weren't upset about taxes. They felt like the tax rate was very fair. Of course, they don't want to pay more taxes, but what they really like is the consistency in Israel's policy.
It's the knowledge that in this country, high-tech is not a hobby. This is the economy. This is what we have. Every government, regardless of which party they come from, will keep supporting the sector.
The CEO of an augmented reality company told me something really interesting. He thinks it's good that Israel is scaling up, but he actually thinks it shouldn't scale up too large.
During the 90s, everybody said, why can't we grow up a Nokia? I think that in this ever-changing high-tech environment, maybe being the largest factory of startups is the right way to go.